So I imagine some people might be curious, is it possible to use in any way assets from episode 2?
No.
There you go. There's the
We
answer.
brought the Jedi Cruiser in. I mean, it was huge. Yeah, I mean, by huge, I mean the number of polygons, little spans that make up the actual physical model in 3 dimensions. I forget it was like over 1 million of them.
Yeah, let me give you an example.
Yeah, you're the
so,
tech.
okay, so in the Utapau sequence in Revenge of the Sith, David Hisanaga and I were in charge of rendering all the sets for when Obi is battling Grievous. So I had one shot. It's very fast, and you probably remember it. And it was one of the few we had a big camera moved inside that huge hangar. Everybody remember the big hangar, the big fight? Okay, remember when Obi uses the Force and he just throws Grievous and he flies up and he hits what I call the air conditioner thing, and his lightsabers go off and then he falls all the way down and then another chase ensues. Okay, so that tilt up, I launched that render the day before Christmas break, December 23rd. On January 1st, it was done. So to give you an idea of the amount of detail that ILM was putting into, I'm not kidding, the amount of detail, it's like it would drive me insane, because the walkway, when Grievous went, it's like, well, there's hoses underneath that walkway, there's grates, there's little bolts, there's nuts. It's an insane amount of detail. So to answer your question, I don't think we wanted to bring it.
In the span of time of a render, several Clone Wars episodes would have aired, right?
Yeah. There's the practice field where the clones run about against training droids, training remotes. We did a special type of effect, and here's the lasers look non-lethal. Just stuns the heck out of the guys, gives them a nasty bruise so they'll remember the mistake they made. We have practice dummy droids in here as well. Yeah, that looks pretty good. We struggle with that set a lot because it is so simple. This was something new too. I asked George if we could ever let the sunlight come down on Kamino, so maybe there's not such a rainy, dour day, and maybe Django would take Boba fishing on those days down the lower deck. You know, I always thought, of course, Boba was a fisherman, right? So, yeah, I wanted to see that, and George said we could. So it's great to have those moments, or the calm in the middle of a storm of a battle. So.
And these slides, you'll see that this one and the following ones, I worked with Jackson Z, who painted these on the look of the water. And going back, so it's Jackson here.
Yeah.
So I knew the water would be a challenge. It was like a ridiculous challenge because, like I was talking about the fire, we all know what fire looks like. We all know what water looks like. So you either have to make it painterly within the motion of water, or I can have the motion kind of look somewhat stuttery or animated. And the blend that we found was actually to paint it. So I worked with Jackson to make sure that the look of the water had something that I knew I'd be able to achieve by painting the water. When I say painting the water, I worked with the artist Sang Lee, and what we did is we found a way to cheat, and not doing something, cheating is a middle name, found a way to cheat so that I could achieve this water look without an expensive render. And here you're looking at something that's, for all you tech people, this is about 2 minutes a frame. Whereas I know this from my office mate that was working on the Maelstrom in Pirates 3, who used a lot of vulgar language while trying to get her ocean to render that took days to render the sim. And I think we've achieved that just by allowing Sang to paint what the water looks like. So we made this catch, just like how Dave was saying, we gotta make something that's just gonna fit in the episode and then go. And if we need to go back to another water planet, boom, here's your water planet, repaint it, and there you go.
Yeah, and that's exactly the kind of innovation that just reminds me of the challenges that were faced, say, in the making of the original trilogy. We're like, well, how do we do this? I know this. Let's figure it out real quickly and get it done.
Yeah. So this on screen is a shot from one of the season 3 episodes, is the rendering of Kamino in the show. I think that if you've seen the Clone Wars movie, you know just how far the show has come, dynamically, visually, looking at the water, the whole blending in. There's some of the surface of the water with some gunships. It is pretty cool to come to work and to think that my day will be deciding if that looks good or not.
I managed to get a big wave in.
Yeah.
I was really happy we were able to achieve this. And it's not a fluid sim. It's our painted wave. So now we've got a way to actually, continue to achieve incredible effects by just painting. Simple geometry is, it's like that.
Don't give me away, Joel. What else have we got? Oh yeah. So
See that?
that's looking bad for the clones, isn't it? That's an old asset that we had from the Clone Wars movie. I remember Ventress actually flew in one of these ships. We use them better and better as the seasons go by, and here we get to see a little bit of their walker-like nature. They got big drill beaks on the bottom now. That's something we added, so they can just smash through the top of these hangars and wreak havoc on the clones. Yeah, it's looking bad for the clones.
And again, it really illustrates in terms of you would never have seen that.
Don't show that, Joel.
You would never have seen that or anything near this in season 1.
Yeah, we could not. That in season 1,
I know.
wouldn't happen.
But what's great, like you have a season 1 episode where they talk about, oh my goodness, Kamino might be under attack.
Yeah.
But if you want to think about it, somewhere in the back of your mind, you're like, oh, I wonder how they would pull something like, how the animation.
Well, when I
team
was
would
a
pull something
kid,
like that.
and they said the Imperial Senate has been dismissed, I didn't know what that was.
Right.
It took like, 20 years to see what the Senate looked like.
At least now we like to
And
wait
then
2
I was
seasons.
like, oh, that's the Imperial Senate. A lot bigger than I thought it was. I thought it was just another round room with like 20 guys in it. Foolish child.
I think we're on time here, so we're gonna run some video here, and then when that video ends, I'm gonna ask you to line up for questions. But let's.
So yeah,
let's
this
take a
will
look
be
here.
the first look at season 3, a special trailer made just for Comic-Con.
If we could lose the lights altogether, that would be fantastic, because we really want to give this the best possible play. So if it's at all possible to lose the lights, that'd be great.
Is your camera good enough that it's not even worth me trying to record this?
I got it.
Okay. Like, is there even a point of me trying?
Last call.
That would be the wrong one.
There we go. So I'll stick the photos then.
Okay.
We believe Grievous is planning a separatist attack. We have to!
I've been having dreams. Bad dreams.
Visions they are. Underestimate them. You must not.
She will die, and there's nothing that you can do.
There they are. The Gorgon is the town.
That's your service, Mr. Bane.
The Separatists are paying $1 million credits for Jedi.
A Separatist victory means death for all of us. Less yapping, more blasting! We're shoulder to shoulder on those front lines.
Always in motion is the future, and many possible futures there are.